The Knicks beat the Bucks 136-134 in overtime December 1st in New York. Rookie Kevin Knox scored 26 points. "This is the culture we're trying to build," Tim Hardaway Jr. said, via the New York Post. "It's the definition of it. He came out here ready to play against one of the top two teams in the East, and he showed a lot of heart. Since the Knicks lost 5 straight, 8 straight, 18 straight, then their first game after the All-Star break. They also traded Hardaway. All those losing streaks ended with road wins. So, New York had lost 18 straight at Madison Square Garden until beating the Spurs last night. That was a big victory, because it prevented the Knicks from tying the 1993-94 Mavericks for the longest home losing streak of all time. Here are the longest home losing streaks in NBA history. The Knicks, as Spike Lee said at the Oscars, are tanking. But they're also trying to sell tickets. That gets easier when home fans occasionally see a win. Golden State Warriors star Stephen Curry is perhaps the best three-point shooter in NBA history. He's not known for being a dunker, although at 6'3" he can no doubt get up enough to slam it through the tin from time to time. Curry has a total of 26 made regular season dunks over his career, according to basketball-reference.com. That's not exactly a lot for a guy who has played in nearly 700 regular season games. So it's a bit of an inside joke when Curry does grip the hoop the way he did during this year's All-Star game or against the Sacramento Kings recently. Via Twitter, those were pretty surprising, and they garnered enough attention that it prompted the NBA to put together a video of Curry's best dunks over his career. "I'm not sure he's going to be winning the slam dunk contest anytime soon, but it's always fun to have guys show off their other talents." Watch the full video above of Curry's best dunks. Every day in the NBA there is a lot to unpack, so every weekday morning throughout the season, we will give you the 3 things you need to know from the last 24 hours in the NBA. 1. Knicks snap 18-game home losing streak, Spike Lee finds out at Oscars. The key to the Knicks winning their first game in Madison Square Garden since Dec. 1 apparently was to have superfan Spike Lee on the other side of the country. Lee was at the Oscars in Los Angeles, winning one for Best Adapted Screenplay for BlacKkKlansman, and not being thrilled with the Green Book Best Picture win, when Samuel L. Jackson informed Lee the Knicks won. Lee appears to jail back, "We're trying to tank," which is just what Adam Silver wants for the league on a national broadcast. Not that the tanking has gone great suddenly, the Knicks have now won 2 of 3. Don't worry about lottery though, the Knicks still have the second worst record in the NBA, which means a 14% chance of Zion Williamson and a 47.8% chance of picking 5th or 6th. Early on Sunday it didn't look like the Knicks would win, they were doing very Knicks things. Then things turned around as the Knicks got good games from guys who could be part of whatever future is to come in New York. Damian Dotson led the way with 27 points, knocking down 8 three-pointers along the way. New point guard Dennis Smith Jr. had 19 points and 13 assists, plus a spectacular missed dunk, and Mitchell Robinson added 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Everyone talks about Sacramento and maybe the Lakers passing the Clippers for the final playoff slot in the West, but the Spurs are tied with the Clippers for the 7-8th seed and have lost 6 of 7 on the rodeo road trip, with 1 game remaining, Monday in Brooklyn. They are the team in real danger of falling out in the West, although 538.com has San Antonio with an 85% chance of making the postseason. The Spurs' remaining schedule is tougher than the Clippers and Kings. Greg Popovich and company need to find some wins once they get back home. 2. Raptors fall to Magic, seem destined for the 2 seed, which may not be such a bad thing. Orlando is suddenly playing good basketball. They have won 8 of 10 and are now just a game out of the playoffs in the East. They have done it with the best defense in the NBA over the last 10, giving up just a point per possession, and the offense has been solid, resulting in a 13.6 net rating. Orlando has simply been good. The latest victim, the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors, without Kawhi Leonard for the night, scored 98 points per 100 in Sunday's game. Toronto just could not finish over Orlando's length, shooting 46.2% in the paint for the night. While Marc Gasol, who started, showed some chemistry with Kyle Lowry, the big man the Raptors picked up at the deadline was wholly outplayed by all-star Nikola Vucevic all game. The holes in Gasol's game at this point in his career are showing up and being exploited. Next up for the Raptors is Boston on Tuesday. That should be a real test. With Sunday's loss, the Raptors are 2 games back of the Bucks for the top seed in the East and seem unlikely to catch them. The Raptors are also 3.5 up on the 3 seed and hobbled Pacers, and 5.5 up on the 4 seed Sixers. Which is to say, the Raptors seem destined for the 2 seed, and that could be a good thing, so long as the Pacers hold on to the 3 seed. If the standings stay in this order for the top 5, the Raptors crush the Pistons, Hornets, Magic in the first round, while the Pacers get a gritty but beatable Brooklyn team, and the Celtics and 76ers have a brutal first-round matchup. In the second round, the Raptors would face the Nets, hobbled Pacers, while the Celtics, Sixers winner gets the Bucks. Suddenly the Raptors are through to the conference finals, having avoided the most dangerous teams. They should be fresh. There are 23 or so games left and the standings can shift, but things could be lining up well for Toronto. 3. Ja Rule's halftime show in Milwaukee did not go as planned. On the bright side, it went better than the Fire Festival. Ja Rule seems a pretty good get for Saturday night in Milwaukee and a far better option than most NBA halftime shows. Not Gary the Amazing Slatic chair stacking good, but good. It didn't work out that way. Ja Rule came out on the court wearing a Bucks Ray Allen throwback jersey, and after that things got weird. When he wanted to start, he turned to his DJ and said, "Are we ready?" Then, when the music didn't start, "I guess not." Later, Giannis Antetokounmpo came out and was taking warm-up shots while he was still performing. This wasn't exactly players racing out at All-Star to see J. Cole perform. When Timberwolves official Twitter chimed in, Ja Rule cursed them. "You just jinx yourself talking to the god this way. You're cursed now. You won't win a championship for the next 30 years. And Cat is leaving. Apologize and I'll lift the curse." Face blowing a kiss of death. https://t.co/ers and 4vkx2y. Ja Rule, @RuleYork, February 24, 2019. Not sure Ja Rule's curse is anything worse than what Jimmy Butler already did to the Minnesota franchise this season. And he's wrong about Karl Anthony Towns, at least for a long while. Cat's 5-year max extension starts next season. He's locked in for a while. Now, if Ja Rule could get Andrew Wiggins out the door. Brook Lopez is now known as more of a three-point shooter for the Milwaukee Bucks. That doesn't mean he's gotten any smaller, and the 7-footer can still throw down on opposing defenders with ease. That was evident on Saturday night, when Lopez waited for Minnesota Timberwolves forward Dario Saric to catch up to him, before dunking on him. Via Twitter, Lopez lingered a little too long on the play, standing over Saric emphatically. That earned the Bucks' big man a technical foul, although it came with 2 minutes to play and did not affect the outcome of the game. The Bucks beat the Timberwolves, 140-128, and now have the best record in the NBA. Spike Lee took home a win for the Best Adapted Screenplay for BlacKkKlansman on Sunday night, giving the vaunted director his first Academy Award outside of the honorary one bestowed upon him in 2015. Liz, perhaps the most famous New York Knicks fan, had to endure a little ribbing by actor Samuel L. Jackson at the Oscars. As Jackson made mention of Lee, the former pointed out the number of consecutive home losses by Lee's favorite squad having only recently been broken by a Knicks win over the San Antonio Spurs. Still not on stage, Lee yelled back at Jackson that the Knicks were tanking. Via Twitter, regardless of your opinions on the 2019 Oscars, we can all agree on one thing: the Knicks are trying to tank. the team is 12 to 48, and if they end up with a high pick they'll probably keep it and add it to the expected haul of free agents available to them this summer. If they get the no. 1 overall pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, there's chatter about New York potentially being able to use that pick to swing a trade for a guy like Anthony Davis. Lee knows what the deal is, and there's no hiding it at this point. His team is on its way to relevance once again, and he's got an Oscar in hand.